Hi, I'm Tim Pillsbury, and I'm a mortgage loan officer. I started my career in mortgage lending in 2007. It was right before the entire mortgage industry melted down. That caused the real estate housing bubble to burst, and it caused what some people refer to as the great financial crisis of 2008. Maybe not a great time to start into mortgage lending. If you've seen the movie The Big Short, that was right around the time that I got in the business. It actually ended up being a good time for me to get in the business because it gave me an opportunity to learn about the business. And I was lucky I got to start with a small company that had some really great people, and they really took me under their wing and taught me a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have learned elsewhere. They really taught me the front end of the business, the back end of the business, even what happens after the back end, and everything in between. And it really gave me a solid foundation of how the business should work and how you should approach the business to be successful and to help my clients be successful and help my referral partners be successful. Since I started in the business, I've literally worked with and helped thousands of people all across the country. I think I've had closings in over 30 states, which is really neat because you kind of get to see what real estate markets are like in different parts of the country that I otherwise wouldn't be involved in. So that's really cool. But I've been able to work with and get to know, again, thousands of people all over the country, whether they're buying property, whether they're refinancing, if they're building, if they're renovating, if they're doing home equity loans, if they're buying investment properties, all kinds of financing, all kinds of real estate stuff, and that's been really interesting and really fun to help out with. One of the really neat things I like about this business is being able to be introduced to so many different people. Again, it's literally thousands of people that I've met during my career, and it's people from, it might be a customer, it might be a buyer, it might be a seller, a title company or a closing agent, the real estate agents that are involved, if it's a home inspector, appraisers, insurance companies, you name it. There's such a wide variety of people that I get to work with and interact with all the time on my day to day. And you meet some really great people. I made a lot of lifelong friends in this business that I wouldn't otherwise be introduced to. And I've been given opportunities to join in other things or be involved in other organizations or things like that just by meeting the people in my day-to-day activities of my job. So that's been really cool, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to meet so many people and to have them bring me into other things that have really been important to me and I've really enjoyed doing. One really cool perk about my job is I remember the first time I bought a house. I remember I was really nervous. I wasn't sure what was going on. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I had a friend who helped me along the process, so I'm very thankful for that. But I remember also when we closed, how excited I was. And that was a really cool milestone for myself. And it was just a really fun and exciting time. You only really get to do that once, except I get to do it every day. Every time I meet with somebody, they're pursuing this for some reason. And every closing is a file. So you have a file, but within that file are people and they each have their own different story. So that file might be a first time home buyer that's like I was before, really nervous about what they're doing, but wants to jump into real estate and they're really excited to get their first house. It might be a family that maybe they're going to have their first child, and the house they have right now, it's not quite big enough, they need more room, so now they want to move up and find something bigger, and that's really exciting too. It might be someone that's retiring, they want to move to the beach or the mountains or a lake or wherever it is, and that's the retirement home, that's where they want to enjoy retirement. Maybe it's someone that wants to get into real estate investing and they heard it's always a good idea, so this is their first stab at real estate investing, so that's cool. It's a good way to jump into adding real estate to your portfolio as a way to build wealth. Maybe it's an experienced investor that has lots and lots of properties and they want to add more to their portfolio. And I get to meet and work with that person and actually learn from that person, to learn what they do and kind of take some of that knowledge that they've acquired over the years and now add that to my knowledge base. So it's really fun for me to learn those stories within the file because it's more than just paper and numbers, they're real people. And to learn about, what is your story? What's your goal? What's your ambition? What are we trying to do here? Why is it important to you? And I like learning about that because that helps me make sure that we're putting them on the right path to get them to where they want to be. Sometimes closings aren't always fun and exciting. Sometimes there are closings that happen because family members have property that their parents left to them that just recently passed away. And now we have to figure out what to do with that property and what to do with the financing or loan that might be tied to that property. Sometimes there's closings that happen because you have people that split up or get divorced. And now we have to figure out how do we divide that asset? How do we manage that debt? And that can be a difficult situation to work through. Or some clients are using their mortgage and their home equity as a way to consolidate debt. Sometimes people have just accumulated way too much consumer debt and it really makes it hard to make ends meet every month. So yes, maybe doing a cash out refinance to consolidate that debt and make it cheaper and help with their monthly cash flow, that could be a win for them, but it's probably not anything you're going to see them celebrating on social media, popping champagne that they just closed on their cash out refi debt consolidation loan. So whether it's someone that's doing something that's really exciting and I get to be part of that excitement and sharing that excitement, or if it's someone that's doing something that might be a little bit difficult, I enjoy being that person they can lean on for questions and help kind of guide them on the right path to help them get through what is a difficult time. I mentioned before, we do all kinds of financing, whether it's a first-time home buyer, whether it's buying a second home, investment property, building, renovating, home equity loans, if you're doing refinancing, if you're taking cash out, all those loan programs we do, whether it's conventional, FHA, USDA, VA, there's non-QM loan programs, which are loan programs that fall a little outside the box of traditional lending. So pretty much any type of financing that's out there, any loan program that's out there, I have access to, which really gives me an advantage and helps me help more people that need financing help. We're able to do them in the majority of states across the country, and we keep adding states to the list that we're able to do. So if you have questions about if your state is eligible, just let me know. And although we do offer pretty much every type of financing available, I'm really proud that I am a certified veteran mortgage advisor. I always say to people, I went through probably my first 15 years in the mortgage business doing VA loans without really knowing how to do VA loans. I never had the training, I never had the education that went along with it. And worse is that when I've had questions about VA, I would ask people for answers, but they didn't really have the training or expertise either. So I was getting wrong answers to those questions. And it wasn't until I went through this program myself to become a veteran mortgage advisor that I really got that expert training to know how it works and what the benefits are of VA above any other loan program. To me, it's the best loan program out there. It's really powerful. There's a lot you can do with it above and beyond what other loan programs offer. You just need to know the ins and outs of how it works and how to utilize those benefits so you're taking advantage of everything that's available to you. And like I was saying before, going through this program introduced me to a lot of people that I wouldn't have met otherwise and people that I consider to be really good friends now. And again, that kind of illustrates how cool this job is and why I like doing what I do so much. So that's just a little background on me. I know when I work with people, I like to get to know them a little bit. So this is just my way of introducing myself to you. If you need to reach me, all my contact information is on this page, so please feel free to reach out. But I also fill this page with a lot of useful information. Whether you're buying, refinancing, there's information about credit. I put all this stuff on one page, so it's an easy access, so you can always refer back to it. And if you have questions, you can find a lot of your answers there. But if you have questions beyond what those resources answer for you, you can always reach out to me, and I'm happy to help any way that I can. So thank you for watching, and good luck with your real estate journey. If I can be assistance in that journey, please let me know, and I'm happy to help. Bye-bye.